up, I gotta go get it. Wake up, I gotta.
It's the College Couch podcast, baby. Let's get it, man.
We
We
back,
back
we
at it.
back, we back.
We back. We back, man. Listen here. It was another exciting week of college football. Man, how was your weekend? Let's get into that.
Oh, it's
How'd you spend
beautiful
your weekend?
weekend, beautiful weekend.
Mhm.
College football. Saturdays,
Yeah.
weddings, just
Hey.
different things. You know what I'm saying? So it was a good weekend, beautiful weekend, man. Weather changing,
Yeah.
not that fun when it getting cold for me, but hey,
Right.
that just mean
Listen.
more college sports. You
Here,
know,
hey, hear me out. We got a thing against fall weddings, but listen, it's always good to be able to celebrate family, but we can't do them fall weddings, brother.
we
That
do it after
interferes.
football season. Say you
Yeah,
invite me after football season.
exactly. But hey, man, again, we had another exciting week of college football. A great slate of games, man. We had the Red River rivalry between Oklahoma and Texas. Dude, this shouldn't have even been the Red River rivalry. This was the Red River shootout, man.
What a
This game,
game!
oh, bro,
What a
only
game!
4 points. Come on
What a
now.
game! That is
That's
all I can say.
yeah,
What
bro.
a game!
I mean, Dylan Gabriel showed out from the jump. I mean, 285 yards, 23 for 38. But dude, the biggest thing here, I mean, the upset. Like this Texas team just beat Alabama, which is not saying much, but dude, a lot of people were like
Well, I mean,
Oklahoma.
I wouldn't say it's not saying much. Like anytime you can, because if it was not saying much, then they would have lost multiple after that. I mean,
Right.
whenever you can take Saban down, that's saying a lot. No
That's what I
matter
mean.
how they
Right.
team is struggling, so I wouldn't say not saying much. That's still a big win.
Yes.
But that just lets you know how competitive college sports is. Any given Saturday, you get
Yeah.
when you at the top and you beat the top, or you
Mhm.
beat somebody worthy, or you get to talking, you get to be in that hype. You got a target on your back, so you got to
Yeah.
show up every weekend,
Mhm.
every weekend.
Yeah.
So
Listen, we getting started up early. As far as going at each other, but no, I agree. But what I mean by that is again, when you are going to Alabama, you again, like you said, you already have that big target on your back, and a lot of people didn't know what to expect from this Texas team this season.
right,
You know, honestly, if you actually have paid attention to Texas and you saw the Texas team that was playing last season, you kind of could figure, okay, this is a team that's not going to be, you know, just going to be pretty much laying down and you get walked on. No, this team is going to fight to the very end, and they showed that in Tuscaloosa. So now it was kind of like maybe they just lost a step, and it
I don't
wasn't.
think so. I mean, let's. I could definitely disagree with you. I don't think they lost a step. I just think they got Oklahoma's best hand. I mean,
Yeah.
Oklahoma was ranked number 12, so it's
Mhm.
not like they were an unranked team. And it's a
Right.
big
Right.
rivalry.
Yeah.
So that's just like going back to the Auburn Georgia game.
Mhm.
Y'all should have blew Georgia should have blew Auburn out, but you know they
Yeah.
got Auburn's best foot. They just
Mhm.
was able to overcome it. You know,
Agreed. Agreed.
and,
And I
and
think.
and and with this week with Texas and Oklahoma, it was one
Mhm.
play at the end. I mean that was the difference maker. And I mean, sometimes with your back against the wall,
Mhm.
players made plays. And what happened? A quarterback made a good throw to a good receiver in the corner of the end zone. I
Mhm.
mean, with the game on the line, it's not
Yeah.
like they got blew out. It's not like I think they just got Oklahoma's best foot. I mean, I'm more scared for Oklahoma than Texas, to be honest,
Really.
because that was Oklahoma's best.
Mhm.
So if Texas was kind of shaky or whatever, and that was Oklahoma's best, okay, what are they gonna do next time? You
Mhm.
know. So I mean, I think Texas is gonna be all right. I think
Yeah,
they're gonna
I
be all
agree.
right. Of
I
course, I
agree.
think Oklahoma's gonna be okay. I don't know if they're gonna make playoffs. I don't know all of that,
Yeah,
but I think Texas is gonna be all right. I mean, you know, I
yeah,
mean, luckily this year nobody has looked extremely
extremely.
dominant
Yeah,
like we've seen in years past.
hmm
Not saying that teams are not being undefeated and handling business. They
hmm
just don't look. Nobody looks like, oh, this team's gonna win, no doubt.
yeah, for sure,
In my opinion,
for sure.
I have a feeling of who might potentially win, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were to be upset or be beat
Yeah,
because the way this year's gone.
and I mean, it really for this game to kind of like pretty much be the farewell to the Big 12 conference. SEC fans are actually getting a preview of what they can expect, and I wouldn't say a preview because again, SEC fans have definitely tuned into this game in years, but we get to experience this in the SEC as me and you both being fans of the SEC and growing up in SEC country. This is something we are looking like really looking forward to. Next season when they both come into the SEC. So
Right. I
like,
mean, it should be interesting. It should
yeah,
be interesting. I mean,
hmm
if they play like they did Saturday, because I think both play on both sides was pretty good.
hmm
It just players make plays.
right,
Which player from which side is gonna make the play.
hmm
But I think that they are showing that, hey, okay, we ready to stand with them. That's a lot better said than done. I mean,
hmm
when you actually in the SEC and actually having to play these SEC teams. But I mean, from where I stand, I mean, I think they're good fit.
yeah,
I mean, come on, bro. You want to run with the big dogs, you got to join them in the race, and then you got to beat them. So it's like every Saturday you got to get your best. You got to give your best because you're gonna get everybody else's best when you in that top three, top five. So I thought it
yeah.
was a very good game.
It was no doubt. I mean, it's the Cotton Bowl is always gonna sell out regardless. Like that's never gonna be an issue. I mean, bro. Again, the game was great. I mean, again, it was the farewell game, and I mean, you can expect more. But the biggest thing I want to say is, man, so many key players, dude. Dylan Gabriel, quarterback for Oklahoma, stud. Straight
He
out the
had
gate,
something to prove.
stud.
He played like he had something to prove. Because I
Yeah.
could have definitely argued that last year.
hmm
I could have argued that at the beginning of this year. You know, like I said, players make plays. When the pressure's on them, they
Yeah.
make plays. So it's you got to you show up on when needed. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? So last year, to me, his play was not as good or whatever. But he showed up. He
hmm
showed up against a big time opponent. And rivalry games always they should always result like that. Whether it's if it would have went Texas way, them winning by a few points. You know what I'm saying? It's to me that's a rivalry. Like y'all leaving it all out there and it coming down to one play toward the end of the game. That's to me that is a good rivalry game. Not
Yes.
no lopsided victory or whatever. To
hmm
me that shows me that every player on that field, whether it was Texas or Oklahoma, said, we ain't backing down. You hit us in the mouth, we're gonna come right back. You know what I'm saying? And it just, one of those was the knockout blow.
Yeah.
So I think it was. I think both players played good. I mean, of course, mistakes was made and
Yeah.
missed assignments, but that's gonna happen in
hmm
sport in general. But at the end of the day, you know, players make plays.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah. Quinn Ewers is still a dog, regardless. I mean,
The entire to me, the entire Texas offense
our
is
dogs. Yeah.
are great.
Yeah.
Literally
Jonathan Brooks.
parted with my dogs because they were
Yeah.
used to be dogs.
Yeah.
But
Jonathan Brooks. Yeah, I mean, that's a
I
man
mean,
child, bro.
he got a good they got a good receiving core. I mean,
Yeah.
Ewers is a great quarterback in my
hmm
opinion. I mean, if I say anything, the defense is a little shaky.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that would be my only thing that I would say. Hey, y'all probably need to clean this up if y'all are trying to compete for a championship.
hmm
Because we've seen in years past that you got a good defense, you can make some shake. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So you already got the offense. So I just think they clean that defense up and clean up some of those miscues. I think Texas will be fine
I'm just excited to see both of these teams come into the SEC. They're going to give great competition as always, and
for
it
sure.
was great that we got to see that preview of
Right,
what to expect from Texas when they played against Alabama a few weeks ago. But
right.
it's still, dude, I'm really still in shock. We're already about to go into week 7 this upcoming week. Like the season
But
is moving. Like it's
you know,
literally flying.
once that football gets started, it
Hmm.
don't stop. It's like a train. It's
Yeah.
unstoppable, man.
Because I'm telling you, by January, I'm gonna be in tears again, bro. Because it's flown. Like it really has just flown by. Like again, week 0 just feels like it was last week. Honestly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
So
and then then we're gonna be on here talking about basketball. We're gonna be on here
yeah.
talking about track. We're gonna be
Hmm.
talking about all these different sports, and that it's gonna be a whole lot different. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
whole, but the same energy.
Hmm.
You know, different sports, same energy.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
it's it just flies by, and then
Yeah.
we're gonna have that space where it's not college football long.
Oh,
But it's
I'm not
okay.
ready. I'm
It's
not
all right.
ready.
It's all right because guess what? We got basketball, we got track, we got
Yes.
softball, we got baseball, we got all that coming in.
Yes.
So
And and listen here, we got some stuff in the works for y'all for sure. Oh yeah. Just know we got some stuff in the works for these upcoming sports, and we want to get some things going for college football as well. So y'all stay tuned for that because we definitely want to bring in some some special guests here and there. So but yeah, man. Again, this was a great game. It was pretty much up to the expectations, especially for it to be a close game like this. And I mean, you couldn't ask for more, man. Great effort by both Oklahoma and Texas. And hey, welcome to SEC country. So but yeah, so listen here. We're gonna go ahead and shuffle on over to LSU Missouri. But listen here, man. Real quick, before you go, hey, listen, before you even say anything, let me just say this. Mizzou was 5-0 going into this game.
for
And
sure.
I don't think anybody had that on their 2023 college football bingo
Man,
card.
I don't think anybody thought that we was gonna be talking about Missouri is competition to LSU. We didn't. It's a lot of teams this year. We not even talking.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that LSU has 2 losses on their
Mm-hmm.
record, and going into this week, Missouri had 0. I was not prepared in any type of way to talk about them being undefeated and this being a particularly good game.
Yeah.
Because I mean, no shade to Missouri at all, but in years past they have not really exceeded it as much expectations that we might have liked. I would say that that's the nice way I can put it.
Oh
You
my
know, I mean, hey, I'm just saying. But yeah, I mean the
god.
fact that
Yeah.
they were undefeated. Don't get me wrong, that entire game was fun to
Yeah.
watch. Missouri, Missouri answered the bell. I mean, they showed why they were undefeated on
Mm-hmm.
Saturday. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they took it to LSU,
Yeah.
took it to them. I mean, they exposed a lot of LSU. They exposed a lot of LSU's weaknesses in that game.
And you
You
know what's
know,
crazy? A lot of missed tackles on LSU part for
that's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying. Like
yeah, yeah, Mizzou capitalized for sure.
a lot. Like I mean, LSU thought they was gonna come in there. It's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, yeah.
Mizzou said, no. You know,
Yeah.
we undefeated for a reason. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I was very, even though it didn't end up how Mizzou wanted it to. I was very very proud to be a fan of the SEC.
Yeah.
You know, because Missouri balled out,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm to be honest with you, they probably should have won. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just being
To only
honest.
lose by 10? I
And
mean, bro, that's not
the
yeah.
only reason that they lost was because the quarterback played for LSU.
Oh, Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels, not even just through the air. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
the man.
To have
Yeah.
a hurt rib, to
Hmm.
hurt your rib and come back a few plays later, or maybe even was in the next possession, I can't remember, and to rip off that sequence
Hmm.
to to bail your team out with your back against the wall, to throw it and get a big gain, and then to run the rest of the way for the score to put your team back on top. You cannot ask for any better quarterback play from your
Hmm.
quarterback as a coach
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
I mean, the grit that he showed in that game was beautiful. Not to take anything else away from the receivers that made plays, but that sequence, that drive alone to put them back on top was something to watch.
Yeah. And not to take again, like you said, not to take anything away from this LSU team because I'm going to go ahead and say it. This team could very well much be going back to Atlanta to face whoever
I
comes out of the East.
I don't
Dude,
know.
they're second to Alabama, and LSU and Alabama are going to have to see each other in a few weeks.
And,
That
and,
game
and,
is
and,
definitely going
and
to be the deciding factor of who goes into Atlanta in December. Come
yeah,
December,
I mean they could be going, but I don't think so. I think
really.
and I hate to say this,
Hmm.
but I think that Bama is finally figuring itself out. I think they're finally figuring out that their identity, because I
Hmm.
think that was a question mark. I think Jalen Miro is finally settling down. I think the defense is settling down, and more importantly, Saban is on everybody.
Hmm.
Meaning, he ain't taking up no anybody can get it. Anybody, anybody can get it. To me, this past weekend, they actually looked like they were supposed to look. You know, so I'm not saying that LSU won't make it, but I just don't think that. I just don't think that. I think that Bama is. I think that they hungry now.
Hmm.
You get that along with a Nick Saban as your head coach. That's a recipe
Yeah.
for winning. They got a chip on it, and then they lost to LSU last year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what I'm saying, so
Yeah.
another chip. So I mean, at this point, it's pride. So
Mhm.
because LSU has a lot to clean up, a lot.
For sure, one
To
hundred
me,
percent.
for them to make it, because I mean, let's be real. They struggle with Mizzou, which lets even though Mizzou is 5-0, you know, it's still Mizzou. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it's like well, your defense has to step up. You can't go to the SEC championship and your defense is like that.
Yeah. For
And,
sure,
and
100%.
even offensively, I mean, you got to be more consistent offensively. I mean, like I said, I give props in this game because they figured things out in that game. But going forward, they got to clean some stuff up for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah, agreed. And I mean, again, like you listen, I'm in agreement with you. If Jaden Daniels can't do it in the air, he's gonna do it on the ground. And I love seeing dual threat quarterbacks are special.
That's the new wave, the future.
Yes, that's
You you,
that's
you
that's
can't just
so
be a pocket passer.
right, right. And I mean it's a special thing to see, not only because it brings excitement to the game, but man, it just shows when you have a versatile quarterback. Man, I mean, the only thing that's missing is him going out for a reception.
Right, right,
That's the
right,
only thing missing. It,
right.
it just it just brings so much more to your office, and I
You
mean, offensive coordinators drool over that. Like
you you
that's
you
what that's
you
yeah.
as a defensive coordinator, you dread that, especially
Mm-hmm.
because there's a difference between a mobile quarterback and a quarterback that can run.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, mobile quarterback, first thing they're gonna look for is running. Cause I like to use Vic for example. Vic could throw it a mile, but his first instinct was to take off, which he
Mm-hmm.
was great at. Don't get me wrong, but to me, his best seasons were when he started to figure out that I could sit in the pocket and then use my legs for a secondary to bail me
Yep.
out. When he was able to do that, oh my gosh.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Because if you're a quarterback and you can pick a team apart in the pocket, and then if everything is covered downfield, you say, all right, y'all think y'all got me now. Now watch this. Watch me
Right.
work. You know? So I mean, hey, dual threat quarterbacks are a beautiful thing. I mean, I love watching a good dual threat quarterback. I mean, I don't
For
think you
sure.
can. It's hard to get by now without being able to run that thing. At least to get 5 yards. You
Yeah.
got to be
One
able
hundred
to at
percent.
least. I mean, I ain't saying you got to run no 4.2, no 3.9, or nothing like that, but you got to at least be able to get some yards.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, again, like when you have that, it not only builds on your rushing yards, but it shows that your offensive coordinators can trust you to not only throw in the air, but you can
Right.
get those much needed yards. Because
Right.
dude, you can get a quarterback's knee, and next thing you know, you breaking through all these big O line and D linemen, and you taking off for the end zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, turn that light on.
My bad, bro. It was get. You know what I'm
Turn that
saying?
light on.
I,
Turn that
I was
light
getting I
on.
was getting blight. I was getting blight.
Listen. Bro, I was over here trying to fumble. I was finna text your fiance and be like, "Hey, can you turn that light on, man,
Man,
please?"
hey, look, man, I was finna, man, look, hey,
But
man,
yeah,
say, man, I was trying to let you get your vocals out.
yeah, you good. But yeah, again, that really brings a lot to the offense because, gosh, man, it makes it's just a beautiful thing watching. Nothing to take away from pocket quarterbacks because they you know what I'm saying, like the way they can move in that pocket and make
Yeah, but
crazy passes.
even when you're a pocket quarterback, you have to, like you just said, you have to be able to move. You have to
Hmm.
be mobile, meaning
Yeah.
even Brady, he's not a runner by no
Hmm.
stretch. We know that.
Right.
But in the pocket, he knows okay, I feel pressure from the backside, let me step up.
Hmm.
Oh, I feel the pressure from inside, let me roll out. Or he knows that. Any
Yeah.
good quarterback knows that. You have to be able to move as a quarterback in general. Like I said, you ain't got to run no 4.2, 4.3,
Mm-mm.
4.4. You ain't got to do all of that. Now, if you do, that changes the game completely
Right.
because now they have to cover you at all phases. But
Exactly.
you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So like even with like Stetson with Georgia, the last 2 years,
Mm.
he was able to, get extend plays,
Yeah.
and he was fast enough to make them even longer.
Mhm.
So all you need is those 5 yards because those 5 yards could be the difference between a first down and a sack or
Yeah.
incomplete.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be able to
Yeah.
move in that pocket as a quarterback. To all the
Yeah.
all the young high school players coming up, hey, if you mobile, stay mobile. Do your
Hmm.
thing, man.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah, but no, and I mean, dude, Malik Nabers, the receiver for LSU, man, he's gonna do
ball.
his job. He's gonna do his job. And when Jaden can't do it in the air, that's his wide receiver number one. Like he's going to get it done when things can't get done on the running game. Jaden is going to find him.
Right,
Point blank. Period. He's going to find him, and he's going to make it happen. Like point blank. Period.
right,
So that really brings a lot to that LSU offense. And again, I know you said that this LSU team may not make it to Atlanta this year, but hey, let's not be so quick to say never because again, this LSU team again still has to play Bama, and I'm really looking forward to that game. Let's just wait and see. It's gonna be fireworks.
like I said. But they have a long road to climb because for one,
For
they're in the
100%.
West,
Mm-hmm.
so that like I said, that defense has to stay consistent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to be biased or anything, but they still gotta go. They still gotta go through Bama.
Mm-hmm.
Still got to go through Auburn, even though Auburn is still a big question mark. We don't know what they're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not saying that they have to go through these teams. I'm not saying that the teams that they're playing are gonna go, What I'm saying is they still have to beat these teams because
Right.
like I know, you lose in the SEC once, it's pretty much done.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah.
leave college football once, it might be done. So, I mean, will they make it back? I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I think that it's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
fight because they have a tough schedule ahead.
Mhm.
I mean, you being in the SEC West, it ain't no joke.
Yeah.
It ain't no joke.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, agreed. And I mean, dude, let's kind of turn the tide over to Mizzou. Brady Cook, quarterback from Mizzou, 411 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
All out.
But
Joe,
hear
what
me
he
out though. Hear me out. I tend not to look at QBR ratings because it can definitely like
I
yeah, it can tell a different tale of what we actually saw and what is actually going into that
yeah,
QBR.
I
Because
that's go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, because going 30 for 47, that only means he had 17 incompletions. And out of a what 15 times out of the 60 I had to do some quick math.
My boy had to carry the one.
Right.
My
Out
boy
of some
said
out of a
16
60
gratuitous because
right, out of a 60
easy.
minute game to have 17 incompletions, that's okay. That's
Well,
okay.
you look at it, man. Like I don't look at QBR. That's why I
Yeah.
don't really. Me personally, I don't like to look at the stats.
Mhm.
I like to look at the gameplay because
Right.
that tells me a lot. Like you can
Mhm.
have. Don't get me wrong. You throw if you were to throw for 400, 500 yards, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
But it also could mean that your receivers was wide open all the time, and
Mhm.
you had time in the pocket. As far and then the other player who had 300 yards or 200 yards was running for his life and still fine. I mean, it's a lot of factors that play into you know, and then incompletions. To me, incompletions aren't bad
Yeah.
always.
Yeah.
Because you can throw an incompletion to save a sack. You can throw a complete incompletion to save making a mistake by
Mhm.
throwing an interception for forcing the ball downfield. You can throw it. I mean, it's a lot of ways. It's a lot of reasons that you can throw an incompletion that are positive.
Mhm.
Don't like if you was to just look at that, and say, hey, he threw all these incompletions and didn't know why some of these incompletions were incompletions. You would just be like, oh, he's trash. He's not doing it. But if you actually watch the game and see, hey, this guy threw it out of bounds because he was gonna get blown up and it was gonna be a loss of 10, 15 yards. Well, now it's just an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
Or he's running for his life, instead of forcing the ball down the field, he throws it out of bounds, live to fight another day.
Right.
So I mean, it's a lot of things. Now don't get me wrong, some incompletions, a lot of incompletions is be over the head of the player or whatever. But I mean, this is football. We not
Yeah.
nobody perfect. Nobody's going 50 for 50. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going 60 for 60. Nobody's going 100%. That's why we got this thing called practice.
Mhm.
So I mean, I think he played exceptionally well. I think you know whether it was with his legs or through the air, he made good decisions. I thought he did. I mean, you know, they weren't able to get it done, but he answered the call when
Yeah.
LSU struck and went up.
Mhm.
He was right back. He was right back. I
Yep.
mean, hats off to the offensive coordinator too, or whoever is calling the offensive plays, because they definitely kept it entertaining
Mhm.
and kept LSU on their toes. They had some well designed plays to get their playmakers in space. I think that was big. That was very big.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. Agreed. Agreed. And I mean to have two receivers on Mizzou's and go 80 yards for a reception. That's pretty darn good. I
Right,
mean,
right.
it really tells the tale of how this game should have went. But it's still great to see, dude. I'm happy for Mizzou actually. Like
For sure, for sure, for sure.
Mizzou has came a long way. I mean, if we see
That's why I said. That's why I
yeah,
said,
if we
man.
see
I
more
wouldn't
of
have
this,
thought.
yeah, if we see more of this Mizzou team, I listen. It might be trouble coming up soon. And again, that's great. That is great.
It definitely helps the SEC East case. I'm just being
Yeah.
honest.
And listen here, let's go ahead and go into the SEC East then,
Yeah, yeah,
since you wanna do me like that.
yeah, yeah.
Listen here,
Georgia was Georgia. That's what I'm gonna say.
yeah, because that's what happened. Because brother, it wasn't much that happened in
They
Athens.
played like they were supposed to. They played like
Yeah.
the Georgia that we know, that we've
Mm-hmm.
been waiting for this whole
Yep.
year.
Yep.
Like I said before, nobody to me to this point has been dominant, and
Mm-hmm.
Georgia showed it this week that hey, we are still who we say we are, and we are still those guys. So
Yeah.
hats off to that. I mean, Beck balled out. I mean, everybody. I think he had completions to what, like 7 different receivers or something
He
like that.
went he went 11 for 11 in the first quarter, if I'm not mistaken. He went 11 for 11 with a touchdown.
Yeah, he
And
got everybody
yeah,
involved. He
yeah,
got every like I think all the
he
receivers that he threw
yeah,
to,
yeah.
got touches and got involved. I mean, and that's what the ball play. Let me just say this: the ball placing from Carson Beck is poetry
It's
in
great.
motion. Oh my
It's great.
God! Like
Yeah.
he it's like he almost knows how much space he has.
Hmm.
Like when he's putting the ball up, and him and the ball have chemistry. Like, look,
Yeah.
drop in this spot right here. It's
Hmm.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, I think they settled down. I don't know what was said or whatever. I think that a lot of people thought that Kentucky was gonna, be the team to beat Georgia up to this point right
Hmm.
now. Because of how they've been playing, which is, fair to say, because one team, Kentucky, has been playing above expectations. Georgia has been kind of teetering that line. I mean, they still have been good. I mean, they just haven't
Hmm.
been the Georgia we've been used to. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but I think Georgia locker room got a little wind of that to say, hey, no, 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 no. We finna show y'all what's up.
Yeah. And quite frankly, dude, I don't even think a conversation really need to be had because they were dominating in all four quarters. I mean, it kind of just worked its own stuff out. I mean, me personally, and I'm not even trying to be biased when I say this. It may it may be time, if not this week, let's let's try to put Carson Beck in the Heisman conversation.
Ah, ah.
Hear me
I don't.
out. Hear me
No,
out.
no. Well, I mean, no, no. I'm not saying just yet. I'm not saying just yet.
Well. Hear me out. He's for sure in the conversation as far as passing yards go. He's definitely in the conversation for that. But
Well, I
Brock,
mean, cause I mean, if you could think about it now, you got Bo,
mm-hmm,
which is his numbers is off the charts. You got Bo Nix.
yeah,
You got Caleb Williams, his numbers is off the charts.
yeah.
Then not then you add on
Michael Penix,
Michael Penix. That's
Shador's in the conversation as well.
not Shador.
Shador actually jumped over Michael Penix this week in passing
And then
yards
and
because
then, and then you
yeah,
have Shador. So these players are having 400 or 500 yard
yeah,
passing games.
yeah.
So and then you had. I mean, at one point, I don't know if Notre Dame's quarterback was in there.
Sam Hartman.
Yeah,
Uh
I think he's dipping
yeah,
out now a little bit, but
yeah. He'll
I
get it
don't I
right.
don't I don't think I. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Beck is not great. I don't think that he has. I'm not saying that he
Yeah.
doesn't have Heisman potential. I just don't think, as of right now, with the play of the other
Mhm.
Heisman people on the Heisman watch, I don't think he's there yet. And he also has a Brock Bowers as well. And
Yeah.
his entire receiving core is, to me, are studs.
Mhm.
But I just don't think up to now is there yet. Not
Yeah.
yet. But
And
the argument can be
that's
had.
understandable.
The argument also can be had. He's had better competition. I mean, I don't.
Mm.
I mean, you can say that too, but I like you can't pick who you play against. So I'm not when it
Well,
comes when it comes.
how about you tell that to the other 20,000 people that think that's the case? Because it was a whole bunch of discussion being
Well,
had as to
because
why our schedule was the
if
way it
I'm being
was.
honest, how I viewed it and the people that have won it and stuff
Uh,
like that, like they just have balled out. I
Yeah,
mean, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, I mean, they just play great. I mean,
Hmm.
to me, whether you in the SEC, Pac-12, I mean, you can't help who you're going up against.
Hmm.
You just all you can help is your play,
Yeah,
how you play.
yeah.
So, I mean, Oregon doesn't play a Georgia schedule. Georgia doesn't play an Oregon schedule. You can say all you want to that if Georgia had Oregon schedule, they would kill them all, but we don't know because they don't
Mhm.
have that. We don't see that. You know, it's
Yeah.
a difference in seeing it on paper and actually seeing it in real time. Just like with Oklahoma and Texas now they're gonna have an SEC schedule. We'll see if they are as good as advertised. So you know, I just think it's based off play because, like I
Mhm.
always say, players make plays. It don't matter who you lining up against. If you are a baller, you're gonna ball out. You
Yeah.
know, and we actually have somebody that has played a Georgia type schedule that's in the Heisman conversation in Bo Nix. I mean, so you can't say and he played well in the SEC. It's just he had a lot going on,
Yeah.
but he still played well, and
Mhm.
now he's playing better.
And
So
that's why he's doing so well in the Pac-12 because he's faced some and I'm not taking anything away from the Pac-12, but the competition we've done studies and we've done analysis. We can say, SEC competition is pretty much more than the Pac-12 in a way. So when he goes out here and dominates against these teams in the Pac-12, it's not because you know of his. I'm not taking anything away from talent, but he's seen it already. He's seen
well, I mean,
difficulty in the SEC, so that what
not
makes
even
it.
just that. He beat Oregon at Auburn. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean he when you have a that's to me that's why I think it should be more games outside of conference
hmm
too because that'll shut all of that up. You know,
hmm
if Georgia had to play Ohio State at any point in the season, that would prove that okay, Georgia beat them. Okay, cool. Just like last year when they played in in the semifinals. You know, that was a good game. And, you saw that Ohio State can hang with
yeah,
Georgia.
yeah,
Even though they you know what I'm saying? So I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to take away anything from anybody, but I think some of these teams can at
yeah.
some point, can compete. It's
And I
just
think
we
it
don't
should
see it.
it should be a thing. Again, it should
Cause
be.
Cause I
Yeah,
saw, I mean, cause at one point Clemson was, doing their thing against the SEC and all these other teams. So I mean, I think it should definitely be looked at to say, hey, all right, y'all have to play these teams at some point. If what I'm saying, I just think that because it'll make it fun for college football fans, and it'll it'll prove a lot wrong. But I mean, hey,
yeah,
I'm just a fan trying to see some good football. So
yeah, yeah. So hey, I listen. I just want to give a shout out to Rara Thomas. That
balled
man
out.
made that man made a crazy catch for his first touchdown as a Bulldog.
I don't know
I
how he
mean,
got his feet in. Oh my gosh,
I
I do not. I
don't either. I
I don't
still
man, my
don't.
boy was
I
he was a
still don't.
contortionist.
You don't know, bro.
Golly, my
I
boy.
there's no way to explain it. Yeah, I mean, it was just perfect, perfect placement.
I know
But
how to explain it. Players make plays.
we gonna get t-shirts made of that. We gonna get a patent for that because that yeah. I mean, you're not joking though, man. And again,
Yeah, hey,
Brock Bowers is gonna be Brock Bowers. And what's crazy is, I don't think it's crazy, but this is it's really rare to see a tight end in a Heisman conversation like Brock
that
Bowers
is
is.
what I want to talk about.
Yeah, it's
Bet
really
Bet I
rare,
don't think it's
but
ready,
it's
but
beautiful
Brock
though.
Bowers definitely needs to be in the conversation
Yeah.
because he requires so much attention,
Hmm.
and it's still you have to guard. Like I know this is not what we talking about, but prime example of that, the best example I can give of that, Auburn Georgia game last week.
Hmm.
They held Brock Bowers down for 3 quarters. 3 quarters. And he still ended up with 100+ receiving yards
Yeah.
and scored the winning touchdown.
Hmm.
So I'm saying this to say one, players make plays. Two, players make plays. And three, get this man in the Heisman watch.
Yeah.
Because what else can he do? Like, what else you want him to do?
Hmm.
He's shown it. He did it last year. He did it the year before that. Like, I mean, what else he's shown? He's shown it. Like, I mean, come on, man. He makes other players better because he requires so much attention.
Yeah.
Because if you leave him open, he's just gonna run by you.
Yeah.
And if you cover him, he's gonna run through you. Like, I mean, the only way to stop him is to get to the ball before he do. And
For
even then, you
one,
got to be moving.
absolutely,
That is
man. You said a mouthful. Listen,
that is it.
yeah, yeah. That listen again, another man child. Like the kid is just unstoppable, and I mean, it's so much more that we're gonna see from Brock Bowers. Even when he does decide to get draft eligible, the man is going to dominate,
Yeah,
and we
I'm
better
excited
buckle
to
up and
see.
get ready for the ride because it's coming. It's coming very very soon. So listen, it again, it's not really. Hey, and you hate to see it for Kentucky, but man, listen here.
Yeah,
They
it wasn't too much to talk
it
about on this
wasn't, yeah,
side.
and I
I'm just
mean,
gonna be honest.
at least listen, they're 5-1. We knew this was going to happen. Everybody hyped this game up. Everybody said that it was going to be some challenges, some struggles. But the teams that everybody said that Georgia was going to struggle and have challenges against, they are literally throttling them by the half. So the
Well,
next challenge,
I disagree. I
well, okay,
disagree.
except Auburn,
No,
I will give
no,
y'all that.
no, no, no.
And it was
'Cause
South Carolina. It
that
was Auburn and South
that's
Carolina.
I mean, let's be real. Cause up until this point,
Hmm.
Georgia hasn't looked like Georgia
Right.
at all. But Kentucky has looked better than what they were advertised as. So the hype was there,
The
you
hype was
know.
there for sure,
So, I mean, I'm just saying because
but
had Georgia came out like they normally do, we might have been having a different conversation. But
but
Georgia still showed why they are number one. So
and and you got to say it.
players make plays.
No, not only
Now
that,
players make plays because
but hear
that's
me out. But not only that, Stan- Sanford Stadium is a very volatile, disturbing, hostile environment to play in the
well.
SEC.
I mean, let's. Okay, yeah. I mean, we know that, but I mean,
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, point blank. Period. It's college sports.
yeah,
You got Sanford Stadium is tough to play at. The Swamp is tough to play at.
hmm,
You know, Jordan Hare is tough to play at. You
yeah,
know, Tennessee is tough to play at. Anyway, you time you're away, it's a potential for you to lose.
hmm.
We know that. But at the end of the day, I don't care about none of that. Players make plays. Bump all that. Bump
Oh,
all that.
hey, and you're not
I'm
wrong.
just being real.
You're not wrong.
Players make plays because I've seen plenty of upsets. You know what I'm saying on away. And I mean, I'm not trying to say Of course, if you're home, you're gonna have your fans. You know your field. You know everything like that. But the team you playing against when you're at home, they're trying. They are trying to run your crowd out of there.
Yeah,
So players make plays. That ain't no excuse. I don't care. I don't care if you home, away, or down the street. Don't matter. Don't matter. There's no excuse. There's no excuse.
oh,
No
yeah,
excuse at all.
yeah, yeah,
So you know what I'm saying. LSU. I mean, for you to get blown out like that, that's no
yeah,
excuse.
yeah.
Now I can understand. You know what I'm saying. Came down to a play, came down whatever. I can understand that because crowd get hype and all of that. It's pressure. Players make plays. One misassignment, whatever. I understand that. But for
Hmm.
you to lose by that many points after you've hyped it up and you've talked your noise and you've been doing that's just no. No. You're not gonna blame it on the environment. And I've been in that environment. I don't care. No.
Yeah, Yeah,
No.
brother, I can't agree with you enough. I mean, 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to cover Georgia, and it was when they played against Arkansas and KJ Jefferson. This was when I want to say both Georgia and Arkansas were undefeated, and Arkansas lost. But brother, when I tell you in my years of covering college sports as well as being in these different stadiums, I don't think I've ever felt a press box literally shake until I came into Sanford Stadium. Like it felt like
But
the press box was
you
gonna
ain't been in the
fall.
swamp, have you?
And you know what? I haven't been in. I have not. But you know what? Second, you know what? Secondly, and my my second favorite field is actually Jordan Hare. Like I truly enjoy
Yeah,
going to
and
Jordan Hare.
that was gonna be my next one. But I
Yeah,
mean,
I and it's some people that are going to fight me down on that, and that's okay. But Jordan Hare is a fun environment to play in as well. But I don't think I've ever been in a press box where it genuinely felt like the press box was just going to come off the hinges and fall into the field because it was shaking that much. It was hard to work because it's an open press box at that, so
so I
you're
mean,
hearing
yeah, I mean, no,
everything.
I've been in Sanford
Yeah,
Stadium, and I,
yeah.
I ain't been in no press box 'cause you city folk, but
We'll
you know
hey,
what I'm saying.
listen. We'll get there. We'll get there.
I've been,
Yeah,
in different spots in Sanford Stadium. So I mean,
hmm
it's like, I I get it.
yeah.
Like I've been in Jordan Hare multiple times. I felt Jordan Hare rock. I felt
hmm
all of that. So you know, it's college sports.
Yeah,
It's different. It's
hmm
different. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, I'm saying that, but I ain't been to no Ohio State game either. I ain't been
brother.
to no Michigan game either. So I
Let
mean,
me
and
tell
I
you something.
know, and I
A
haven't been
pin.
to the swamp either. But
Uh,
I've literally seen it on
yeah.
TV, and I've seen that mug get the where the announcers like it's shaking in here right now. You know what
I'm
I'm saying?
telling you now. We are going to make a trip to Penn State whiteout game. We are going to make a trip to Penn
I
State.
still got bone pick Penn State. I might not go. So they
Well,
beat us. I'm
you'll
just
get
playing.
over
I'm
it.
just playing.
Yeah, I'm about
I'm
to say
just
you'll
playing.
get over it. But yeah, these environments, man, they make college football what it is. And I
Right.
mean, it starts with those student sections, man. Those student sections put
For
so much,
sure. For sure.
and you gotta love it because they make the environment what it is.
For
If they're
sure.
not hyped, the game is going to be hyped. And those night games, man, those night games,
Yeah,
those
I mean
night games, those night games.
it's a beautiful thing, and
Yeah.
especially like that's what I'm saying. Like even though to me that hyped me up. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, you might be booing me, but I want you to. Like
Yeah.
mama mentality. If you ain't booing me, then I ain't doing something right. And I'm finna go
Yeah.
ahead and put that 81 on you real quick. That
Mm-hmm.
to me should be the mentality of every player coming into any environment. You know,
Yeah.
even in me being an Auburn fan, you coming into Jordan Hare, you better give your best. You know what I'm saying? Because no team is untouchable
Mm-hmm.
at home. You know, to me that's where you want to beat them because that feels good. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but so if we talk about student sections and things like that, let's go ahead and talk about this Shador
I'm I'm
Sanders.
I'm livid. Ooh, bruh,
What's your thoughts on
man,
that? How you feeling about that?
man. Let me tell you something, boy. I'm livid. I'm mad, and
I,
I know I shouldn't allow this to get me out of my element, but brother, you literally beat an Arizona State team who you were supposed to beat. Not not only were you supposed to beat them, they were 1-4 before you played them. And you have the audacity. You just beat them by 3 points. I don't care whatever they said that may have gotten you, heated during the game or whatever. Why this whole flex and watch thing? It was cool, but it's starting to be over. It's getting oversaturated now. You know what I'm saying? Like you
I
just
mean,
beat this. You just beat this Arizona State team by three
but they beat
points.
him.
It doesn't matter. You were supposed to. You were
They beat him.
supposed to.
I mean,
And you
but
were supposed to beat
but
them.
you think about it. Think about it. Think about it. The hype at the beginning for Colorado was way up here.
Yes.
They lost 2 games. It dropped to their
Yes.
regular, right? And then now people are coming at them like, oh, see, y'all are touch, y'all are trash, y'all are this, y'all are that. So you know what I'm saying? I personally, Joker Flex and Wise Men, I really don't care. I mean, don't make me no.
And that's the thing. I know
To
it
me,
should I
to
should
me,
let it bother
that's
me.
not a to me that's not a flex. To me,
No,
it's like you
I'm not
doing
saying as
that,
far as
whatever.
flex. And yeah, I'm not saying as far as flex, but why are you running over to Arizona State student section after you just beat
But
them?
I told you before, they have a certain level of pride and arrogance. I mean, you
But
have
at
to
the
have.
same time, yes, you're right. But I was having a conversation this earlier this week, and I brought up the saying, act like you've been there before. But they can't because they haven't. And I had to really put that in perspective.
Well,
They haven't been in this
well,
playing field
you say you
before.
gotta think about it. Think about this, bro. Say act like they've been there before. Okay, cool. They tried that. They tried to
Right.
act like they've been here before. But everybody's still coming for them, talking this, talking that. And we've known because they barely, I mean, they barely beat Colorado State. They barely beat all these teams and they lost two. One by big numbers, and they came back on USC and then and then lost.
Yeah.
Whatever. But people are still saying, they still talking junk because as a
Mhm.
player, that gets under your skin.
Yeah.
Like to me, I know they are arrogant. And I
Mhm.
think that the USC and I think the Oregon game calmed them down a lot because
Mhm.
anytime you lose, it's like, all right, let's go back. But when people are still attacking you as if you are like the big dog and saying, "Oh, you thought you was that, but you ain't that," and you
Mhm.
still go out there and you beat them, you handle business, you know, you want to talk a little noise.
Yeah.
That's just his way, in my opinion, of saying, "Aha, we still on top." Cause the watch flat, it don't bother me none. Cause I mean,
And
um,
yeah, it doesn't bother me. It's more so you're doing it to a team who you were supposed to boat race. You've only beat them by 3.
yeah. See, they don't think they're not looking at it. See, I think as fans, we look at it as far
Mhm.
as, hey, this team was only won one game.
Right.
You're supposed to beat them.
Yeah.
You were ranked at one point. Players don't look at it like that,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Mhm.
Completely. I won't say every player, but for the most part, I think it's we gonna beat y'all. That's we win, we win.
Mhm.
We escape a loss. We ain't got no L in our collar.
Right.
You know. Now, don't get me wrong. Do you want to run it up on teams that you supposed to? Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And then you think about it a lot of times. You play down to your competition a lot
Mhm.
when it's not a team that can make that you feel like can make a difference. Because coaches preach it all the time and say, hey, uh, don't think they're not gonna come and try to give you their best. Like I said, when you at the top, even though Colorado's not ranked at the top, Dion puts them in that conversation.
Mhm.
They're in that light. So you're gonna get everybody's best foot.
Yeah.
That's just point blank period. I don't care if it's, you know, backyard football team that you just created. You go get they out there and best because
Mhm.
that's you are prime time. You are in the light right now. They're talked about as if they are a number one team.
Mhm.
They talk about Colorado more than they do Georgia to this point.
Yeah.
So if I'm a team, I'm playing them. I don't care if we ain't lost, we ain't won a game yet. I'm finna. I might run a 4-3 today. I might run a 4-2 because you know what I'm saying. Everybody got their eyes on me right now. Like I mean, let's
Mhm.
think about it. Like you said, last year we wasn't looking at Colorado. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody's looking at Colorado. So you come out and ball out on Colorado and you beat Colorado. That it might be somebody looking at your game that could potentially want to draft you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But they
Yeah.
wouldn't have seen that if they weren't playing it. So,
Mhm.
for me, you know, do I agree with deflection and all of that? Not me. You know what I'm saying? Just because I just like, hey, look, let's win, let's get on to the next one. If it ain't a championship, to me, the win is just a win. It's just a
Yeah.
step closer. You know what I'm saying? The championship, oh heck yeah, I would have flexed on. Heck yeah.
First,
You
100%.
know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
But for me,
Agreed.
but that's just me. Like,
Yeah.
cause I feel like that once you win a championship, that's your end goal. So that
Mhm.
I can talk all the noise I want to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But do I feel like it's wrong that he did what he did? Me personally, no. Just because of the noise that's been put, because they've kind of like people call him overrated. People kind of, he holding the ball too long, which he is. And then they try to say he's holding the ball too long to pad his stats to do that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they everybody's got something to say or whatever. And whenever they play Colorado now, it's like an attack.
Mhm.
And then you coming at for his dad a lot of times too. So it's
Yeah.
personal for him. So I can get why he go flex on them like that. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
to each his own.
Agreed. Agreed. And I think that, and again, I have a lot of respect for Shador. I mean, even watching him ball out at Jackson State, I mean, the kid is a baller.
Oh yeah.
But you got to know when and where. That's I think that's the ultimate thing for me is just when and where. You know, and
I
and I
think.
think he's
Go ahead.
what you were saying.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think he's maybe he'll grasp that concept if once he gets another year. Maybe not. Who cares? But
I think he's grasped. He know when to do it. Cause think about it. What is college football? What is college sports in general?
Mhm.
It's entertainment, right?
Agreed.
So if ain't nobody talking no noise, ain't nobody, arguing, ain't nobody doing nothing,
Yeah.
who tuning in?
And
Cause,
eventually, and
cause, cause, cause since we on that, I mean, I know this wasn't part of the discussion that we were gonna talk about. You got if Angel Reese wouldn't have talked all the noise she did and did all the
mhm,
facts she did, the women's college championship would not have been televised and watched as much as it was. I mean, it would have been televised, but it wouldn't have been watched as much as it
mhm.
was.
Yeah.
Talking
Even
junk and
yeah.
having that swagger about yourself, that fills the seats. That
Right.
I mean, prime example, T.O. was the most trash talking and dancing joke. That's what he did, but it
Yeah.
sold tickets. He backed it up. Shador backed it up. He won. So when you win, you get the flex. I don't care if
And
it's by a point or 3 points.
right. And I mean too, and if you think about it, Johnny Manziel with the money sign. And essentially Shador
Name me
won.
name me a
Shador
player that you remember that didn't flex like that. That didn't talk his noise.
oh man. The list is endless. But at the same again, because we about to hit that
I know.
hour.
I'm just saying. I'm just.
No,
I'm
you're
saying.
right. And you're right.
I'm
But
saying
again,
that to a point.
yeah. Yeah.
That's to me. That is smart. It ain't as dumb as
Mhm.
the Miami coach running that ball like he did.
Well, hear me out. And again, Shador won because we're talking about him, and that's what they need. They need for us to talk about them. So now that you're on it, yes, let's get into this whole brother. This Miami team is it, Miami did something. Not even Miami. Mario Cristobal did something that was so just. I don't even know how to describe it. It's almost like you want you wanted to lose. And what's even worse, there was only 24 seconds left on the clock. Mario Cristobal has done the same thing when he was the head coach at Oregon, with just continuing to run the clock, run the ball, running plays until the clock hits zero. But I want to say it's finally come to bite him, and it's good. Georgia Tech. They ran the ball. 24 seconds left. Their running back, Miami's running back fumbled the ball. Georgia Tech recovered.
Right.
On the first play Georgia Tech got, end zone. Haynes King dot dot to his receiver. Three DBs on the receiver. Receiver comes out, I think on a hitch. if I'm not mistaken.
It looked like a little post, right?
A
Like a little
post,
post
yeah,
wheel route.
and dot to the end zone. And I couldn't do anything but laugh because why? Why are you running plays? Why just nail the ball? Nail, bro, bro,
I'm just gonna
nail
say
the ball.
my boy thought he was playing mad and he wanted to run the score.
No, this is real life.
But now, I
This
mean,
is real life.
you got. I
In
mean, I
IRL.
I mean,
IRL.
first of all, let me say this. Shout out to Georgia Tech because
100%.
I've been
100%.
wanting Georgia Tech to be back to their prime, or they glory days so bad.
Hmm.
Like I'm not like a I'm an Auburn fan through and through, but
Hmm.
the fact that I'm from Atlanta, you know what I'm saying. Georgia Tech is right there. You know what I'm saying. I just wanted them to get back to being a force again. You know what I'm saying. But shout
Hmm.
out to them. But for that call for you to run the ball, I don't know. Like I mean, that's so crazy that he fumbled it the way that he did. Like it's, I
Yeah.
mean, I personally would have nailed it and ran the clock out. But I mean, I could try to see where he coming from. He trying to run the ball and think.
No. There's no.
But then I'm
There's
like,
nothing to
no,
see.
you
There's
pretty much
nothing
had
to
the game
see.
sealed. I mean, you
Yeah.
had the game sealed. I guess I don't know if he was trying to get a first down to officially seal it. But I'm like, bro, you up by a touchdown. You got 20 some seconds left on the clock. Uh, it's gonna near that thing.
And you know what's crazy? I'm not even mad at the running back. I'm not.
No, I mean the running back. I mean because
He's doing what he's told.
he was
He's
going.
doing what
I
he's
mean, I mean,
yeah.
I would say you secure the ball. I mean,
Mhm.
I would personally be having everybody do ball security drills, but at the same time, I'm not gonna put my players in a position to mess up.
Mhm.
Like, okay, we've already fought to get to this point.
Yeah.
You know, we're up in this game. We're ranked, beating Georgia Tech. We're up in this game. I'm not gonna put the ball in your because that's when you're supposed to be a coach.
Yeah.
You take the questions out of the kids' hands, out of the
Hmm.
players' hands. You say, look, I'm gonna nail this thing. You nail it now. Don't get me wrong. You could nail the ball, hike it, and then it go over your head, and some crazy junk happen. But it has to literally take the football god saying, "Hey, you ain't winning this game." But
Yeah.
but I'm gonna, if I was a coach, I'm taking it out of their hands.
Yeah.
So I can't
Exactly.
get mad at the running back. I mean, because he was almost down. You know, and it was just a
Yeah.
good play. It was just a good
Yeah.
play on the defensive end. Because I don't think anybody noticed that the ball came out except the guy that picked it up. Because
Hmm.
everybody was looking like, oh, whatever, he's down or
Yeah.
whatever.
And it took the referees to have to review
Right,
it and
right.
make the call.
So
Yeah.
I can't get mad at the running back. It's not like he
Hmm.
blatantly
Yeah.
fumbled. It
Yeah.
didn't just fall out his hands. It literally, you know. So I
Hmm.
mean, hey,
Agreed. And I really hope
somebody's
that
job is gonna be in question.
and I really hope it's Mario Cristobal, and I really hope he learns from this in next game if they're up. Kneel, kneel,
I don't think he's
kneel
gonna
the
run from it.
ball.
That's his identity.
No,
He gonna run that thing.
and I hope and listen. And once he sees his kids start entering the transfer portal because of this game, he can only blame himself. And that's just how the ball rolls. And listen, it's gonna be up to higher up to say, hey, you do that again, your job is on the line, 100%. Because, dude, he had his guys on the sideline in tears because why we literally had the game in the palm of our hands, Stacks, in the palm of our hands. All we had to do was run the clock out, run it
Well,
out.
I mean, in his defense, he wasn't running the clock.
That's it. That's it. We listen. This has been
In
another.
his defense, he was running the clock out.
This has been another great episode of
My boy, ah, my boy
this has
said we
been
gonna run him more
another.
to his zero.
This has been another episode of the College Couch. I'm not gonna deal with you tonight. Thank y'all so much for y'all so much for tuning in. I'm not dealing with it tonight. We
I feel
really
bad. I
appreciate
mean,
y'all.
he said what? I was running up.
Enough. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Please continue to support us. Follow us on all social platforms. Listen, thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. If y'all ever want us to come out and cover, if you have a game you want us to cover, if you have a player you want us to cover, if you have a player you want us to interview, reach out to us, email us, reach out on social. Let us know. Please, please, please. We want to make sure we get to. We want to make sure this platform and this baby. This is our baby. This is something that we've worked really hard to do. We want it to grow as far and wide as it can. So continue to share, continue to comment, to continue to like, subscribe, all that. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Say, hey, kneel the ball, man.
Uh, wake up, I gotta go get it. Wake up, I gotta.